Hello everybody, it is me, it is Mr. 79 here on this glorious night of April 24, 2017. And as the 11 p.m. slowly shifts to the 11:30 p.m. and slowly then transfers into 12 p.m, I suspect soon, maybe even sometime during the cast, I may have to say it is now April 25th, 2017, because I am late at night and my decisions are not those that are responsible to my well-being. But regardless, we have a ZvZ for you folks. I need to get my settings back in order before we do any of such casting. There we go. Do that, bad boy. Let me make sure everything's all set. Alright. Let's get on into the game without further ado. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Newkirk Precinct, representing our orange Zerg player, it is JakeTheDog. In case you haven't figured it out, we do have a lovely PVZ, or okay. We have a lovely ZvZ to do at least something to your day. On his opponent, spawning in the bottom right-hand position of Newkirk Precinct, representing our blue Zerg player, it is Ming. Ah, that's not Ming. It is Ming. Oh man, how did I do that? That was super cool. Let me see. Did I press this? Ah, did not press that. I guess I whatever I was doing, it was not that. Anyways, let's go ahead and ignore that just for the time being and see what our players are up to. Let's see, this one is from Psionic Aftermath Academy. This one is just from Psionic Aftermath. Double extractor check, never change, Ming. Never ever change. Oh my gosh, so Psionic Aftermath Academy, in case you didn't know, in case you may be hearing a common name among the cast, yes, I am primarily a caster for Psionic Aftermath. Great team, honestly, they've given me a lot of love over the couple of months that I've been with them. They have an academy that JakeTheDog is in order to help improve players of all skill levels, and then they just have a regular Psy-X when you are good enough to go ahead and join that. So yeah, that's that. So you know what, just in case you may be thinking, oh, it's person bias, he only picks the Psionic Aftermath games. Well, that's not true. I pick other games if they even ever get to me. I don't barely get many sent in games, so before this game fully gets into gear, please know, folks, if you have any replays you would like to see cast by yours truly, you can send them to Mr789@outlook.com. I appreciate losses as well as wins, and both are equally as important into improving your Starcraft skills. Anyway, enough self-whoring and incoherent rambling. Actually, I was doing none of those things. I guess I'm just conditioned to protect myself against that. Alright, yeah, that's that. Let's go ahead and see what our players are doing. It looks like a hatch guest pool coming out for our friend JakeTheDog. Meanwhile, our friend Ming probably following exactly the same, so not too much of a difference so far from our players. We do see that our friend JakeTheDog, ooh, lovely ass music, has some more minerals than our friend Ming. Probably not going to be the biggest thing, nonetheless. I have a feeling that something can be done with this small mineral income, and looks like he is going to go ahead, immediately start 2 queens and immediately 2 drones. So that is what, or 2 lings. So that is what, 350-ish gas? Or minerals? I'm not quite certain. I don't play Zerg, never claim to be, probably never will. Protoss for life. Let's see. So far, it's basically as mirror a build as a mirror build can get. Looks like though both players are researching metabolic boost. Now JakeTheDog is opting for a couple of more links, just 4 more, nothing too much. But he'd probably be able to muster himself onto the map fairly well over Ming, who's only up to, what, 2 lings? Yeah, 2 lings, not making any more anytime soon, so he's gonna enjoy a nice drone advantage. Meanwhile, our friend JakeTheDog, does he want to go ahead and go for a 3rd expansion? Does he want to go ahead and throw down a layer? Does he want to try and Nidus the hell out of Ming? I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm hoping it's gonna be something entertaining for you folks to watch. I was told this was a very interesting game, so you know what, whoever sent this in, I'm gonna go ahead and put my faith in you, faith that you know what you're talking about when you say that a game is interesting, and faith that these Zerglings will get nothing done, because yeah, 6 things, it's a, yeah, maybe I was overselling how good these were. Now that they have boost though, ooh, metabolic boost, I can do a little bit of something, but you know what, there's a queen here. Yep, there's a queen there. Not gonna do too much. They will be able to deny this drone, so that's at least a good pickoff for our friend JakeTheDog. Seems as though a Baneling's nest has just finished on up. It has not. It has just past the halfway mark for our friend Ming, nonetheless. And ooh, did he actually get a kill on that structure? Let's take a look. Can I look at the structure's raised? Is that Control R? It is not. I'll go ahead and assume that was a cancel, but I'm not so certain. That seems a little bit painful. Let's look at lost. Units lost. There we go. Ming. See this 300 minerals lost right there? Oh my goodness, I think he actually did lose that hatchery. That's a big blow to our friend Ming to go ahead and start this game off. And now it looks like our friend JakeTheDog does not want to be nice. 14 lings now on the way. 30 workers to 28, 22 armor supply to 13. I don't think Ming can take this fight. He's gonna go ahead and try to do it anyways. So hard to tell what's gonna happen in these small scrappy ling fights. And it looks as though actually Ming's lings do not come out with the bling blings, unfortunately. JakeTheDog gonna go ahead and push our friend Ming all the way back home, scurrying with his Zergling tails between his legs. His Baneling's nest has finished on up though, as well as an Evo and a Roachworm and a lair, so he's just getting all the tech going full on raw turkey dog in throwing down these tech structures. Leaves them a little bit open to a timing attack, and looks as though JakeTheDog tries to put on a little bit of pressure with a lot of Banelings morphing on in. Good a bit of Banelings, as a matter of fact. Queen's over here pooping creep and looking at Overlord Anus. You know what? Not a bad life, not a good life, but not a bad one. Speaking of not a bad life, good Baneling kits. Poor friend JakeTheDog so far, and he's moving on in. Let's see if the splits can end up working out, because it looks as though the splits are okay for now. Ooh, losing a lot to the Banelings though is our friend Ming, but still, it seems as though he'll have enough to go ahead and hold off this aggression, but only just. You can see the brute power of those inefficient trades starting to take effect on Ming's economy. Look at that, down in army, or at least only slightly, yeah, now down in army, now equal in army, and down at least, 14 workers. That is a little bit brutal. He does have a Roachworm, so he may be able to do something on there, but it's going to be a little sketchy. Banelings now morph, moving on in, trying to see what they can do, but it looks as though the Roaches are going to go ahead and pick him off the Queen to complement as well, and it looks as though with the Ling Bane support it is going to be enough, along with the Roaches, to maybe clean up the Lings. It's definitely going to take them out. 38 to 27 total workers, 10 to 14 total armors to buy. JakeTheDog, you are not a dog, actually. You are the man. Man's best friend at the moment, because you are absolutely murdering this game, as well as possibly your second hatchery of the game. Looks like our friend Ming is going to go ahead and try and save it. Two Roaches have popped over here as on this hatchery. That is a godsend. And it appears as though these Banelings are going to go ahead and get them cancelled, thrown down on them as well. Good-ish connection, 2 lings, meh. And it looks as though he's going to try and move across the map. Okay, no workers in production. See those 20 lings? That is not 10 drones, folks. He's going to go ahead and see what he can do all the way across the map. I'm kind of worried that those weren't, let's say, 5 or 6 roaches, maybe more from some Banelings, because I think there's a lot of Ling Bane, and as long as there's a lot of Ling Bane for our friend JakeTheDog, a high ling count for our friend Ming just isn't going to do too many wonders for him. However, the Ling's going to go ahead, try to contest these Roach numbers in these small amounts. Can actually be done to pretty good effect. Ooh, manual detonation, not doing too much there for our friend Ming. One Baneling kind of scurrying on his way. And well, looks like the Banelings have turned, and a big connection getting thrown on there for our friend Ming, scuttling back home as a friend JakeTheDog, and now 8 drones on production. Of all the times to not make 8 drones, this ranks among one of them. Looks like though he is going to lose some drones over on this top left-hand side location, a total of 5 actually. So not a bad pickup for Ming to start this off. Playing with fire, living on the edge is Ming, and looks as though he is not going to get burnt for his efforts. Ling's trying to gnaw away this hatchery, slowly going down to health. 500, 400, 300, what? 200? Is no one gonna save it? No! It looks like it may very well just go down, and goes the hatchery as it explodes into death. Meanwhile, the Ling Bane gonna go ahead. Roaches not supported, not gonna take a great fight versus these Zerglings, but looks as though another great connection for our friend Ming, and another one not doing him any misfavors at all. These 3 Roaches are residual and will go ahead and run on away. Quick fun fact about Roaches as we watch them scuttle to victory. A Roach's melee animation when it's right next to a unit will not have its damage reduced by Guardian Shields. I thought it was a fun fact, but it is cool. Anyways, meanwhile, a Spire is on the way for JakeTheDog. JakeTheDog, ooh, this game just got a whole lot more interesting. Double expand with the Spire. He senses that he is not in a great position in this game. 15 armor supply to 20. 44 workers to 47. I mean, he feels as though he might have to do something to get back into this game. However, this Spire is going to be a very long time to complete. And Ming, if he senses that JakeTheDog is not making units, that he's being exceptionally greedy, that he's taking up a strong Roach Ravager timing, or even just a Roach timing, hell, throw a couple of Queens in his face while you're at it. Any timing would probably be the end of JakeTheDog. No spines inside with the double expansion. Definitely throwing His greed on full throttle, not getting his gases for the Spire. That's gonna cost him at least a couple of mutas, forgetting to saturate those Vespene geysers. Mean whilst Roach count for Ming continues to grow. Does he have any anti-muta tech on the way? No, take a look at the structures tab. It is a Roachborn, a Baneling's Nest, and no Hydralisk scan in sight. I am the best caster in the universe. And you know what? Even the Hydralisk upgrade was in research. What was I thinking? I guess I thought that was Roach speed. I am a dingus in a caster's skin. Anyways, that's my metaphor and I'm sticking with it. It looks as though the hatchery is going to go ahead and get picked up for Ming. Whoa, actually, that's a big part of the game. Did not expect that bad boy to be going on down. Ming losing the third hatchery for the second time. Joe number 3 is going to come over here and say, alright Ming, I'll give you another hatchery, but you got to promise me you're going to be more careful, right? Ming's like that kid who dropped his popsicle in the sand and his parents bought him another one. And then the kid dropped that popsicle again, and then his parents gave him one final popsicle, and he's like, alright, you better not lose this one, because if you do, you're probably gonna go ahead and lose the game. Meanwhile, 5 mutas are on the way in the production tab. Now 6. However, this roach attack isn't going to wait for anyone. And there we go. Mutas finding the roaches. We all know what happens in these situations. The roaches do not care. They're going to go ahead and push on through. Especially with their custom Super Grubio skin. Do they have +1? Yes, they do have actually +2. So these things will be two-shotted like nobody's business. Meanwhile, roaches are going to try to do as much damage before the mutas clean them up. Mutas actually not even opting to clean them up, just moving straight across the map. That is a huge mistake for a friend JakeTheDog. You need to clean up these roaches. I don't think you've noticed this, but apparently roaches do damage to units. It's crazy, I know, you can't just play across the map. What are you going to do? There's going to be queens, there's going to be spores, and even worse, there's going to be Hydralisk. He needs to clean up this roach. Attack in his third base. I think it's going to go down for the third or second time, putting him on equal footing with Minga in the losing his third base count, I guess. Ew, that was a stumble one. 31 to 38, total workers, 34 to 62 total armor supply. Ming is still enjoying their very nice advantage. And now 7 more Hydras on the way. This game is Ming's to lose. JakeTheDog is throwing 1,000 minerals and down only has a small-ish flock. He has an okay flock of mutas. I mean, if this were protesting, it would be GG already, but I mean, in ZvZ, there's natural anti-air that's really good, scattered throughout any Zerg space at all times during the game. Take a look at the muta count. It is 11, and there, unfortunately, is, let's see, there's 12 11ths of a Hydra for every Mutalisk. That's right, boys. Fractions can help you understand how screwed you are in the game of Starcraft 2. He does have this backup third, which is coming in great handy for him. He just can't stick on this Mutatech. They're a Hydralisk. I mean, what are you going to do? Mutatech is so hard to transition out of. He's going for an infestation pit. So I'm guessing he wants to go ahead and try to take up toward Hive, maybe Greater Spire, but that is eons away, folks, from ever occurring. Meanwhile, a fatty supply block being thrown on JakeTheDog as these Hydras picking off Overlords. In fact, I think they picked off more Overlords than these mutas have. Take a look at the units lost. Yeah, they actually picked up more. 5 Overlords lost for JakeTheDog, only 1 for Ming, meaning Ming only lost 1 Overlord. Now it's going to be 3 after these couple do go down, or only 2, while Ming has killed 5 of his own. So these mutas need to find some way to repay for themselves. I mean, you can't just sit them back at home, because the Hydras will look at them and say, nom nom nommers, gimme them gommers. That's my name for Mutalisk Gommers, because I needed a plot device. Looks like they're going to go ahead and try to focus down the Hydra fan, but he's only going to lose some of his numbers and a little bit of his life. Baneling's actually rolling gun in. Okay, the game just flipped on its head. Great connection to the Hydralisk. Now, what was a much of mighty Hydra flock? Mighty Hydra flock. What should we call a group of Hydralisks? A slithering of Hydralisks? No, you have a flock of mutas, a cloud of phoenix, a scuttling of roaches. What is the plural of a group of Hydras? You know what? Let me know down in the comments below. With the best response gets Mr. $789. I don't know, folks. I'm scrambling at this point. Meanwhile, these Hydralisks, a slithering of Hydra is going to go ahead and knock down these cooling rocks, accompanied with the scuttling of roaches. Looks like the mutas still trying to find some use for themselves out on the map. Let's see, is there any open avenues for attack? I mean, there's 2 spores at this base, so that's a no-go. There's 2 spores on the main base, which has a spawning pool, so you can make him not make lings anymore. And there's a spore and a queen over here. I mean, the thing is, he's at a very awkward muta count, you know? I mean, he's at how many? He's at 17. I take it back. That's a very powerful muta count. Looks as though it's going to be Muta Bane Ling. Mutaling Bane, rather, for clarification. And you know what, that's actually not bad if JakeTheDog can get good connections on Ming's Hydras, and if Ming actually moves out too early, he can lose all of his Hydras to the Mutas, and then the Mutas will just have free reign over the territory that is Ming. So actually a closer game than I would have given it credit for. This is already turning out to be quite the doozy. Infestor's now on the way. Oh, that's so cool. Just fungal the Hydras in place while the Banings do massive damage to them. I kind of would have wanted Ming to go ahead and tech toward Infestors just to help deal with the Mutas. As I say that, we're in the 14-minute and 22-second mark, and we have yet to see a fourth base. Well, okay, we have yet to see a functioning mining fourth base from either player. Looks as though no player quite comfortable with asserting themselves out on the map in that manner, which is kind of concerning. What there's like, we'll call this 1.5 mining bases for JakeTheDog and 1.5 mining bases for Ming. In these low econ situations, I gotta tell you, I don't favor the Hydra Roach player. I favor the Muta player. However, Banings could be kind of the answer. Could be kind of costly to use in an engagement. He's gonna go ahead and set up for an engage. Ming does not know this is happening. He sees a couple Mutas, and now he sees a fuck the Banings flanking on into the Hydras. The Hydras need to use their Roaches to ding, but already fantastic connections. The Mutas are gonna clean everything on up, and Ming has lost everything to those Banings. A beautiful surround from our friend JakeTheDog. And now Ming finds himself once again in a position where he must sacrifice his army in order to get as much value as he can. He knows he won't be able to have his army. He knows that everything he has is gonna die, and he knows that he has only killed 3 Mutalisks this game and has lost 31 Hydras for the price. And this is not looking good for our friend Ming. More Spore Clouds being thrown down in desperation, but Mutas are fast. They regenerate quickly and they are not happy. 2 Queens and a Spore Cloud over here. There is a couple of transfusions available, so maybe he can hold on for a little bit, but still 17 Mutas are 17 Mutas. No attack upgrades for these Mutalisks, so a little bit concerning. One Muta does get picked off by the Spore Cloud, however takes a Hydra with it. These Hydras can just straight up engage the these Mutas can straight up engage the Hydras. I was about the reinforcements. Looks as though these positioning is crucial. Couple of Spores and Hydras are going to go ahead and repel the Muta attack. One more coming down. And now some links curdling around for our friend Ming. Let's see, what is our friend Ming doing? If we go ahead, turn on his player camera, microing his Hydras back and forth, spreading his creep.
Forces under attack.
I like that, Commander. I like it.
Forces under attack.
Ooh, okay, just looking at everything, trying to do what damage he can, sending links this way and that. One good thing that came of this, there's an equalizing factor in this game, which makes it surprisingly close, is that Ming has killed off the third base, so he is mining healthily, while our friend JakeTheDog scrambles for a strong economy. He has yet to replant his third, yet to get up a fourth. Meanwhile, our friend Ming, look at this, not too shabby, now has 2.5 mining bases. That is excellent, excellent, excellent already. We can see in the production tab, 3 hatcheries. If he can get away with that, that would be Amazon-amazing. Probably not going to happen though, as Ming does find this hatchery, does go ahead and get a mass cancel on it. Good play for my friend Ming. But there's still 2 more left for JakeTheDog. JakeTheDog still needs to be active with these Mutas. I can't stress how important it is for him to still be out on the map with these Mutas. I feel as though he had the right idea, but just needed to control a little bit better. And if he had, would have found much more damage and honestly a much greater position for himself in this game. As a result, I hope we don't see a slow death. Pathogen Glands now on the way for our friend Ming. Not a bad decision against a lot of Mutalisks. Meanwhile, let's see what our friend Ming or JakeTheDog is up to. Still on layer tech. He has an infestation pit, dropping creep here and there. What's his game plan though? Because eventually Mutas are a very tech heavy unit. When I say that, I mean they kind of suck. The thing that they have going for them is that they're super techy. Like they fly, they're fast, they regenerate. They're, they bounce their attacks with glaive worms. They stack up, right? They have a lot of tech heavy. They're not like Marines, which is just, good. They're tech heavy, so when you get a tech response to Mutalisks, you can end up with doing a lot of damage to them. Let me see, what's a better way to put this? Mutalisks eventually will have a counter to them. Like, if you compare them to Marines, if you try to get counter to Marines, like, you go Colossi at it, that's fine, you just make them anyways, right? With Mutas, you don't make them anyways. Once they get the counter to Mutas, they're done, they're shut out. They can get some damage here and there, but for the most part, they're finished for the game. And I'm saying that as Infestors are coming on out, those are the hard counters to Mutalisks to such a tech-heavy unit, and they just can't fight against them. It's just not fair. Are there any Infestors out at the moment? No, Pathogen Glance has finished, but our friend Ming does not want to make any Infestors. A bit of an oversight, I feel. Looks as though our friend JakeTheDog is gonna go ahead and try to find a good bit of damage in the main base. Probably not gonna occur anytime soon though. Choking around with these Burrow Festers and Banelings. The bird infestors kind of look like they have an angry eye. Look, that's their eye, and they're kind of angry. Look at that, look at that. Oh my god, David Kim, you are a genius. Meanwhile, the Hydralisk killing things. Meanwhile, Mutalisk not killing things. Seriously, this is a lot of gas. That is 1,900 minerals, 1,900 gas invested for a couple of drones and a little bit. Oh, hold my stupid rounding, because the best fungals have just landed on the army of our friend Ming. Now, JakeTheDog, this is basically like, how much more clear does it need to be? You need to engage this, and engage it he does again. All the Hydralisks do end up going down. However, now the infections are being chased back over to the main base, and with the detection for Ming, they do end up going down. JakeTheDog, content to chase his roaches till the cows come home. He has now established his 3rd and 4th bases. Probably doesn't want to be losing them anytime soon. Meanwhile, it is 30 to 48 workers while all this destruction is occurring. So our friend Ming, look at this. Just look at that base, and that base, and that base compared to that base, that base, and that base. You can tell JakeTheDog, he is not mining well, which means one of two things. Either he has to go now, or he has to lose this game. And if we're operating on the assumption that people generally want to win StarCraft 2 games, he needs to go now. He needs to clump up his mutas like a madman and just engage. Just engage. You have 2,600 floating in the air, and goddammit, you need to make use of it. Looks as though he is going to go ahead and pick up this hatchery. That's a good start, but you need to do more damage than that. Our friend JakeTheDog, you need to do more. And looks as though he's going to go ahead and try to find some more damage over here. Sacrifice 1 or 2 mutas and kill the army, but now no. Ming's reinforcements have arrived. A good amount of Hydralisks. 19 Hydralisks for 26 Mutalisks. That is not a bad fight. One Hydra can maybe take out 1.5 mutas. I think, I'm not so certain, so definitely our friend JakeTheDog cannot engage that. There was a time when Ming had like no Hydras. I think that was his time to strike. This may be a missed opportunity for our friend JakeTheDog, so he's gonna go ahead and go back home for now. But now he finds himself out in a worker advantage. Look at that, saturating his bases, understanding the importance of a strong economy. These mutants have just kept Ming across the map. I mean, he wants to move across the map. Believe me when I tell you, he absolutely wants to, but he just can't. His mutants are keeping him pinned back at home. He needs to respond to these. And oh, one of the best ways to respond to Mutalisks, I'm telling you, infestors are not a bad way to go! The fungal is gonna go ahead and not be thrown down, just gonna save that energy. Okay, infestor, you do you. Oh my gosh, not that there's mutas and infestors for the opposite player. I gotta just kinda, I gotta take like nitro or something like that. Cool my heart, Jesus Christ, man. Alright, meanwhile, 16 banings are on the way. Our friend JakeTheDog content to sit on this Muta Bay composition till the cows come home. Honestly, who can blame him? I wouldn't be feeling very secure to transition out of anything else either. Our friend Ming has added that next step in his tech ladder, Burrow Infestors. How many overseers are for our friend JakeTheDog? A grand total of 2. They've just finished morphing actually, and they are not with the mutas. There we go. Gonna go ahead and actually be hotkeyed with. Ooh, can't lose his infestor. Okay, losing these overseers means he can't detect the. Oh. He can't detect the shark festers. Oh, that is not good. Oh, that is not good. If that is one thing, my folks, let me tell you, it is not good. And looks as though he's right over them. Oh, he's beginning. Oh, the fungal goes down. The mutant's being taken down. The second fungal down as well. However, the Hydra's still getting taken out to some degree. Is there another fungal? Is it there? No, just barely out of fungal range. Just as though a lot of mutas have gone down. Can you win the fight? Another fungal infested Terrans, and the last muta of the once proud flock just got flocked up by infestors. Wow, 1 kill on that one. 0 kills on that one. 1 kill. Okay, so they're really not that. Let me tell you, they did a lot of work. Okay, just because they don't have any kills, they did so much work in the damage. They must have dealt like 1,000 damage to those mutas during the course of that fight. Now 12 mutas on the way, but I don't know, man. The infestors are still out. You don't have detection for them. I don't know if Mutatech is going to be the strongest, especially when you try to build it from scratch. I just don't know. I just don't know. Funnily enough, this creep is spraying to this creep. Let me know if yours are pair in the comments down below as this fight starts to conclude. Can you spray your creep onto enemy creep? My guess is yes, and I will stand by it if I am incorrect. Meanwhile, Mutalisk flock now at 12. It could have been at 46 if his muta control was absolutely innovation. Like, But it is not, and rightfully so. Yeah, this Mutants block isn't nearly as intimidating. It's still pretty scary, still a nice amount of mutants. You can pick off a drone, you can slap a Hydra too if you catch them spawning, you know, you can do the basic stuff, but you know what, that, against the Fester Hydra, you don't take a straight up fight. Just look at their faces. You know what we never get to see in Starcraft 2? We don't get to see the faces of units as often as we would like to. And I think that is a damn shame. Meanwhile, Ming is probably going to end the game. That's just all honesty. Actually, not many Hydras here. There's actually a decent handful as I say that. Oh, actually, hold that thought. Here we go! The fungal coming down on the Bane is actually not bad. And that's just there actually wasn't enough Hydras? That is quite confusing. Unfortunately, still no detection for our friend Ming. Unfortunately, Mutalisk, no, you cannot kill the infections by bouncing glaive worms off the roaches. It was a good idea. However, it was only half of the equation. Meanwhile, this base getting killed out. 68! I did not expect to see this number. This is the number that I looked at and was like, wowzers, that was very surprising to me. For good reason, too. Meanwhile, another huge fatty fungal on the Mutalisk. It's just looking grimmer and grimmer. In these low beacon situations, a pound of Hydras is is more valuable than a pound of Mutalisk. However, we still gotta have some measurable amount, and with the link support, these Hydras are gonna be chased by these Mutalisks, but again, these Mutalisks can't end the game. They're spores as Hydras. As long as there's some of those, you cannot kill your opponent with pure Mutalisk. If you were transitioning to maybe Brutal Tech, if he had a stronger economy, if he had not lost his face to Lings, if he had not lost 85 workers, we would have had a much different game on our hand, folks, but shoulda, coulda, woulda. You know what is the story of Starcraft, folks, and it looks like our friend JakeTheDog is in a deep pile of doggy doo-doo. Hydralisk, now take a look at their upgrades. They are at 2-2 versus just +1 in the air for our Mutalisk counterparts. These are gonna do horrible things to whatever's in the air for our friend JakeTheDog. He has 10 more drones, and he's not planning on stopping anytime soon. And Ultralisk then seems very, 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 very. Did I say very? I didn't? Well, it is quite adventurous, to say the least. I'm not going to go too much into detail, but let me just say, when you try to afford an Ultralisk cavern with 200 minerals and 50 gas in the bank and 30 workers, maybe that won't work out, especially losing a couple of Mutalisks for free. Yeah, JakeTheDog, I mean, if he can get to Ultras, in his defense, if he can get to Ultras, I mean, Hydralisks, they're squishy, and Ultralisks, they're the exact opposite of squishy. If they were an exact opposite of squishy, it would be Hydralisks, is what I'm trying to say. Or Ultralisks. Like, they would be the least huggable things in the universe. I know, everyone wants to hug an Ultralisk, but I just don't feel it would be a fruitful endeavor of mine. How many larvae for both pairs, by the way? 25 to 16, yeah. People are having trouble spending their money. This has been such a scrappy game. You know what? I can't believe that 26 minutes into the game, and we're at 32 workers and 44, and I'm like, wow, that's a lot of workers for this game. I mean, I don't think anyone has gotten to a nice, comfortable, solid drone count in, like, what? 27 minutes and 3 seconds? I mean, that's pretty redonkulous, folks. I think that's the definition of a low econ situation. Our friend Ming is not going to give our friend JakeTheDog the time we need to get to Ultralisk Tech. The Lings and Banes will roll on in, but the Hydralisk will not give too much of a foggy damn about that. 23 hotels would have frozen over by the time JakeTheDog holds this onslaught from our friend Ming. There are infestors, there are Hydras, and there is no hope for our friend JakeTheDog, as his forward mining base does end up getting taken down. The infestors sharking their ways to victory, some not even sharking, some just didn't connect to scuttle across the creep. What was I gonna say? It would be pretty cool PM if Ming could spread his creep onto this other player's creep. I think that'd be pretty cool, kind of a shared vision sort of thing. I mean, sure, maybe if these ultras pop out, it will prolong the game a little bit longer. I don't know. It could actually still work out. Maybe I'm calling it a little bit prematurely. I swear this never happens to me. However, yeah, this one's nowhere near finishing. This base is gonna go down. There was a small counterattack of Lings over here, but that got cleaned up very, very quickly. Couple of drones bird here. That's cute. Yeah, that's cute, but you know, it's not gonna save you the game. Now Ming is getting angry. He's gonna go and try to move up the shrimp. Big Daddy Space Cow is here, and he is not gonna take no hugging for an answer. Is he just gonna go ahead and try to straight up engage? If he loses this base, I mean, what? He'll have that. And that's basically it. Ooh, the fungal on the Ultralisk. That's actually pretty cool. However, they do not get snared or frenzied. Ultralisks are great, but without support units, they are kind of the shittiest units in the universe. The rage quit from an epic game. Unappreciated, JakeTheDog. However, a frustrating game indeed, because JakeTheDog was defeated and Ming was victorious. What an amazing game. Honestly, I had no idea who was going to win that bad boy. Oh man, that gave me chills. I mean, like, what? That was low econ, but somehow managing to be on like 5 bases. Which is weird, I know, but I mean, that was such a great scrappy game. Really iconic of what back and forth Starcraft truly is. Ming definitely playing very well, definitely took a couple of bad fights, but you know what, he knew how to play versus Hydroliths, and JakeTheDog, maybe just don't go for a huge Mutaflock in ZvZ. I mean, keeping the Mutas to pin your opponent would have been great. I love the idea of Mutabane, but just staying on it, I mean, there's eventually going to be counter-tech responses, and you know what, we talked about tech-heavy responses. I mean, those Mutas are just going to get shredded, get shrown? Shred-owned. No, they get shredded. They would have gotten shredded to the infested Hydra combo, but it looks like that's what actually happened. He didn't have any detection. Our friend Ming his control wasn't amazing, but our friend JakeTheDog's wasn't so much either. Just need a little bit more decision making, a little bit more of a transition, and a little bit better micro. But you know what, folks? Shoulda, coulda, woulda is the story of StarCraft. That is how we improve, and everyone, thank you so much for watching. Quick bonus back for those of you who stick it on through and don't quit 27 minutes into the match. Be prepared in the next 2 weeks for something amazing to happen. Keep that in mind, folks, as I thank you so much for going ahead and watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please go ahead and consider leaving a like on this video. It helps me out much more than you may think. Go ahead and leave a comment down below, and I'll be so certain to get back to you on that. You can go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you are so inclined for more daily-ish StarCraft 2 content. And remember, above all, folks, the internet could always use some more heroes. Mouse click.